This video has been a long time coming and I'm so happy that it's finally here, and then I get to share with you a peek inside my brain and a little bit of a behind the scenes of the process that I follow through to create my doodle pages and how everything comes to life. So in this video, I'm going to share everything with you, from where I get my inspiration from, how I sketch the doodles and put them together inside the doodling page. I'm going to give you some ideas of what works for me, so hopefully this can give you some inspiration, or you can get some tips and tricks that you can implement to create your own doodle pages. If this is our first time together, hi, I'm Myra with Vial Designs, and I create videos just like this one to help you become more creative through calligraphy, lettering, and doodling. All right, grab your pen and your journal and let's get started. Before my pen ever touches my journal, I start gathering some inspiration. That is after I have my headphones ready, usually with an audiobook and my cafecito. I have two favorite places that I usually go for inspiration. The first one is Pinterest. Once I'm in Pinterest, I search for the terms of the doodles that I want to make. In this case is summer doodles. I scroll to all the pins, and the ones that catch my attention, I save them into a Pinterest board or a folder. Just a quick reminder about finding ideas on Pinterest. Remember to be super mindful of the creators. Always click through the source and make sure that you're using the art as a friendly starting point of inspiration. For example, if you're just doodling for yourself on your personal journal, you're usually totally fine. But if you ever plan on selling your creations down the road, or like I share mine and I create Patreon printables, it's super important that you respect those guidelines. And in those cases, I always purchase the actual PNG directly from the artist because I want to support their work, and I also want to be respectful of how I use the images that I get from Pinterest. I just wanted to give you that quick reminder so that you can keep that in mind as well. Next, I go to Canva and I open a new document and bring any images that I have from Pinterest. Canva is actually my other secret weapon for inspiration. So I usually add the words cute or adorable or kawaii and then the search term that I'm looking for. And then once I find the ones that I like, I start adding them to my document. And a super pro tip that I want to give you here, set a timer for 20 to 30 minutes for this part. Otherwise, it is so easy to fall down into a rabbit hole and spend the whole day consuming ideas, searching for inspiration, and never actually sketch a thing. So make sure you limit your inspiration time. This is how my page looks after resizing and rearranging, so that I make sure that I can include as many as I can in one page. Once I'm satisfied with the page, I print them out. Honestly, I found it so much easier to have this physical piece of paper next to me instead of looking at a screen. It completely takes away the temptation to check my phone or get distracted by computer tabs. So once my cheat sheet is printed, it's finally time to start doodling. I find that the easiest way to overcome the blank page paralysis is to add a title to your page. In this case, I decided to do it in the middle. You can do it at the top or honestly wherever you are in the page. So for this page, I'm going to title Summer Doodles, and I decided to start with the word summer in bubble lettering. First, I wrote summer in block lettering, and now I'm adding outlines to create the bubble lettering effect. This is one of the easiest ways that I found to create beautiful bubble letters. If you want a step-by-step tutorial and also go over the whole alphabet so that you can create your own bubble lettering title, make sure you check the video tutorial where I go over all the steps. I will add the link to that down below. Once I have the title done, I start adding the doodles around the title, and I'm going to pick the ones that I think that are going to fit best within the page, like this adorable avocado tanning and a towel. These doodles just make me happy. I think they're super cute. I do have the sheet that I printed. It is right next to me and I'm using it for reference. I just wanted to zoom in a little bit so you can see all the process. I always like to sketch on pencil because I tend to erase a lot when I'm doing these sketches. I remove some of the erasing in here just to keep this video as short as possible, but at the same time as real in the process as I can. Now, as much as I would like to create the whole doodle page in just one sitting from start to finish, sometimes it's not possible, especially now in the summer that my kids are out of school. I like to sprinkle in some doodling type whenever I can, and I think that the best way to make that happen is to have everything ready. So I have my journal, my pencil, and then my reference page right next to me, and when I have some time to doodle on this page, that's where I start doodling. And the word doodles, I decided to do it in faux calligraphy, in a little bit of extended calligraphy. That's what you see right here. But then as I was doing the page, I had to erase it and rearrange the words, and that's something that you're gonna see later on in the video. After I was done with my title, I started picking my favorite doodles from the cheat sheet that we created at the beginning. I've done a lot of these doodle pages, so I kind of have an idea of what's gonna fit and what won't. But if this is your first time doing a doodle page, don't worry if something doesn't fit. That's why we're doing it in pencil first, so you can always erase and rearrange to make sure everything goes together in the doodle page. For this flamingo, the best way to explain it on how to draw it is like a backward to start the shape of the head and also the body. And one of the things that helps me to doodle or to draw using a reference page is to focus on sections of the doodle instead of the whole doodle. So for example, here, once I have the body, I started focusing on the head, the beak, the awesome heart-shaped sunglasses, and then we move to the legs. And one thing that I want to recommend when you're doodling, instead of doing heavy traces, make sure you keep the traces light and sort of like hairy line. Use short, light feather strokes to build up the shape as you are doodling. And as an extra reminder, I just want to make sure that you focus on the process of learning right now rather than the final result as you're making your doodle page, because the important part of this whole process is the creative time that you're spending drawing and not the end of how your doodle page looks. I do hope that this is giving you some inspiration to doodle and to create your own doodle page in your journal. But I just wanted to say that because as you watch me draw, you might think this looks so easy, but remember, it's taking me a long time to get to this point. So even right now, I'm using the reference page that I printed earlier to guide me, and I'm able to draw these doodles just by looking at the page, but that's only after years of practice and doodling. So if your doodles don't look exactly like mine, please don't sweat it. I promise you that you don't need to compare your chapter 1 to my chapter 20. I actually have to tell my kids this all the time, because every time that I'm showing them how to do something and they don't get it perfect the first time, it is so easy for them to think that something must be wrong with them and not the fact that I've been doing it for a long time. So I always have to remind them that I have years of experience under my belt and they only have a few. So if this is your first time, or maybe your second or third time that you're trying to doodle, just be kind to yourself and focus on the drawings, on the learning experience that you're getting by doing the pages, because there is no magic trick to getting better at drawing or really anything in life than just showing up in practice. And at the end of the day, this is just about having fun, being creative, and enjoying the vibe. And you totally got this. I'm sorry, it is a little bit hard to see here with the pencil and the sketching because the natural light left me. I had to stop for a little bit and then coming back with the artificial light is just a little bit hard. But I do have the printable for this, so you can look at it and follow along a little bit better. And this is the part of the doodling page that I have to change the way that I wrote doodles, because I wanted to complete the sand castle a little bit better. So those are some of the adjustments that you're gonna have to make as you are doing the doodle page. I do like adding the title first because it just helps you combat the blank page paralysis that you can get when you're looking at a blank page and you don't know where to start. The best way is to start with the title. But as you can see here, you can always rearrange the way that you have the title and the way that you have the doodles. It is completely fine. At this point, I have almost the page completed and the main doodles that I wanted to do. So I start looking at the doodles that I can add to the smaller spaces, and for that I decided to do this flower. For the even smaller spaces, I like to draw different types of star doodles, hearts, little flowers, and since this is a summer page and there is a lot of water involved, I thought it would be fun to add these water droplets around the page as well. Now that I'm satisfied with how the page looks, I'm going to be using the new Archer and Olive monograph pens to outline everything. Remember that if you buy anything from Archer and Olive, you can use my code VD10 to save 10%. These pens come with a lot of different sizes in the tips, so I'm using in the page, I'm rotating between the 03, 05, and sometimes the 07. The smaller tip is perfect for the smaller details, and then the bigger tip is perfect for outlining the lettering like I did here with summer and maybe some of the other doodles. This is personal preference. You can use the same tip for outlining the whole page. You know, it is up to you, whatever you prefer to use in your doodling page. I'm going to keep the inking part to a minimum, and also I'm not going to ramble as much because I already did enough of it while I was sketching, but I'm just going over everything, outlining all the doodles that we sketched at the beginning. For the coloring part, I got these Prina color pencils from Amazon, and I think they are really good for coloring, and they also have a lot of variety in colors. I also thought that the price was very affordable. I usually like to color with markers, but it's always good to switch around the things that you use to color, like the glitter gel pens. These are one of my favorite things to use when coloring lettering, and I just think it adds a beautiful shine to the page. Completing this page took me a couple of hours, but I did have to spread those out within a couple of different days because having my kids home for the summer, running a business and trying to stay present with them, it makes it a little bit difficult for me to dedicate a full 2 hours, but I do still think it's important to take, even if it's 10 or 20 minutes a day, to be creative, because you have to dedicate time to yourself to relax, and what a better way to do it with your creativity in your journal than to doodling or doing some lettering. That is the process that I follow every time that I want to create a doodle page inside my journal. The process might not be for everyone, but I hope that it helped you a little bit in case you want to create your own, or if you want to skip to the fun part of coloring or tracing. I turned this into printables exclusive for my Patreon membership. I think they are super cute. If you want to print them and put them inside your journal, you can do that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video tutorial was helpful and it inspires you to create your own doodles. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you made it until the end of this video, be sure to comment with your favorite emoji so I know that you are one of the real ones that watch the whole video. Thank you for spending your creative time with me today, and I will see you in the next video tutorial. Bye, friends.